let's get started in a bound ankle pose today. Bring the soles of your feet together. Open your knees out wide. You can have your heels drawn in closer to your body or further away, whatever feels better to you. Wiggle through your seats. Make sure your weight is bearing into your sits bones. You're not rolling forward, backwards. You're not favoring one cheek to the other. Lean back just a little bit so your shoulders come above your hips. Lift your shoulders up by your ears, roll them onto your back. Rest your hands on your thighs, knees, shins, calves, wherever. Start breathing in and out of your nose and start to breathe more consciously. Make the effort to balance your inhales and exhales as you're breathing deeply into your belly. So we're going to start with a focus on the full belly breath today, and we'll use a Durga Pranayama, or the three-part breath. With your inhale, feel your belly inflate, and with your exhale, feel it deflate. Inhale, your belly inflates and your ribs expand outward. Exhale, your ribs draw back in and your belly deflates. Inhale, your belly inflates, your ribs expand outward and your chest rises. Exhale, your chest lowers, your ribs draw back in and your belly deflates. So that's the pattern we're going for here. Belly, ribs, chest, and then releasing top down. Chest, ribs, belly. So you're creating this gentle wave of air and energy. It moves through your torso with each inhale and each exhale. So starting your practice from a place of calm and grounding, bringing awareness into the other areas of your body. Maybe as you're sitting here in your bound ankle pose, you start to feel more sensation through your hip flexors, your knees, your ankles, maybe somewhere else completely. And just take note. As you start to feel more sensations through your body, recognize when something may be a little uncomfortable, which is okay, or if it's pain. You want to avoid painful sensations. Anytime there's tingling, stabbing, shooting, anything that becomes unbearable, totally okay to back out of a posture. Before we dive into our practice, I invite you to set an intention today. And the intention I offer you is to practice in a way that's nourishing for your body. So in each transition, as you move into a pose, you hold and you move out of it. Notice whether this is a nourishing variation for you, if you should make some adjustments, make some changes, offer yourself more, offer yourself less. And just make it your goal to have this be the most nourishing practice that you've had in a while. Take one more breath here. Then flutter your eyes open. Using an inhale, stretch your arms overhead. Exhale, bring your palms together and down to your heart. Rest your thumbs on your breastbone. Take a cleansing breath here in through your nose. Fill up as much as you can. And then a tiny bit more. Exhale through your mouth. Inhale, sit a little taller. Exhale, start to hinge forward. Bring your hands down to the floor, your legs, anywhere for support. Allow your back to round gently, but make sure you're not crunching into your fold. Keep your sit bones grounded on the floor. If they start to lift up, you may have bent forward a little too much right now. Come back up, reground. And then from here, walk your arms forward. Using an exhale, walk them over to the right. And keep pressing through that left sit bone. Try to keep your shoulders even. Try not to let that left shoulder pop up on you. Walk your fingertips a little bit further away if you can. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, walk your hands over to the left. Same thing, other side. Press down through your right sit bone. Walk your fingers a little bit further away. Keep those shoulders even. And keep breathing into your belly. Inhale back to center. And exhale here. Take one more breath here, neutralizing your spine. Maybe walking your hands a little bit further away if that's available. And inhale, walk your hands towards your body. Come back upright. Bring your knees together, hands behind you, and just shift your knees from side to side, windshield wiper legs. Some movement through your hips. Then meet me in tabletop, coming to hands and knees, wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. Look back between your thighs and hide your feet. And then bring your neck neutral with your spine. So make sure you're not allowing your head to drop down. You're not looking back any longer. Crown of your head reaches forward. Then inhale, hammock your belly, bring your heart forward in between your biceps. Allow your gaze to move forward, just following the movement of your spine. Keep pressing your hands into the floor. Try not to collapse into your shoulders. Flatten your chest a little bit more if you can. Breathe here. Breathe in through your nose and out through your nose. Your next exhale, moving into cat pose, rounding your spine, lifting it up towards the ceiling. Let your head dangle down, but again, don't crunch, so not pushing your chin towards your chest. Still pressing your hands into the mat, keeping those shoulders strong. Then adding some movement with your breath, inhaling for cow, exhaling for cat. Any other variations your body's craving right now. Maybe it's a little lateral movement, belly rolls. Take a few more breaths, just bringing more movement to your body. Come on back to center. From here, walk your knees together, bring your feet together, and shift your hips from side to side. So this will be a little bit more of a balance challenge than if you have space between your knees. If you need to widen them again, go for it. So feeling sensation on the outer hips. And from here, come back to center, tuck your toes underneath, and sit back onto your feet. Walk your hands towards your body, lift your torso up. Inhale, stretch your arms overhead. Exhale, twist to the left, open your arms out wide. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, twist to the right, open your arms wide. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist left. Inhale, center. Exhale, right. 2 more times in each direction. back to center. Exhale, put your hands back onto the floor. Keep those toes tucked under. Lift your hips, push them back, downward facing dog. Go ahead and pedal out through your legs. Bend one knee while you straighten the other. Maybe dipping your shoulders down, swaying your hips from side to side. You can lift both heels and lower them at the same time. Bend both knees at the same time. Whatever sort of organic movements feel right to you right now. Come back to stillness. Really press through your arms to send your sits bones further back behind you. Try not to round your shoulders here. Press your chest towards your thighs. Inhale, look forward, lift your heels up, shift forward into plank. So bringing your shoulders above your wrists, navel in towards your spine. You can adjust your feet here so you're not scrunched up, your hips aren't lifted, your legs are long. And this is how much space you're working on having between your hands and your feet when you come to your downward facing dog. So it may not be there today, that's fine, just work on it. So building a little warmth, a little internal fire here. Try to come back to your full belly breath. Allow your breath to be calm even in moments of challenge. Inhale here. Exhale, lower your knees down, chest down, chin down. Inhale, slither through, baby cobra. Untuck your toes, press the tops of your feet on the floor. Lift from your back rather than your hands. And exhale, release down. Inhale, big cobra, hands slide back by your chest, lift your chest, press gently into the mat. Keep your lower belly on the floor. Still using your lower back muscles to, mostly your lower back muscles to hold you here. Exhale, lower back down. Inhale one more time, up, baby cobra, big cobra, or upward facing dog, lifting your thighs up off the mat. Keeping a micro bend in your elbows. Make sure you don't lock them out. Another deep breath in. Exhale, downward facing dog. 2 breaths here. In through your nose. And out through your nose. Then inhale, lift your right foot up off the mat, coming into a 3-leg dog. Toes point down, hips are even. Doesn't matter, maybe your 3-legged dog is down here today. That's okay. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, knee to nose. So shifting those shoulders above your wrists again, draw your knee in towards your nose. Inhale, stretch back up. Exhale one more time, knee to nose. Inhale, stretch back up. This time, open your hip. Bend your knee. Stack your right hip on top of your left. Keep your shoulders still. Try not to let your left shoulder dip down. Press equally into both hands. 3. Take another big breath in. And out. Inhale, look up in between your hands. Exhale, big step forward with that right foot in between your hands. Do what you got to do to get it there. If it doesn't make it all the way there, use your hands to get it up there. Bring your ankle underneath your right knee. Good, so really pressing through that back heel still. Lifting up through the back of your left knee. Plant your left hand down. Inhale, stretch your right arm up for a revolve lunge. And exhale, roll onto the outside of your left foot. You're going to reach your right hand behind you, coming into a horizon lunge. Try not to let your hips dip down. Keep them strong. Inhale back up, revolve lunge. Exhale, horizon. Inhale up. And exhale down. Inhale back up. Exhale. Float your right hand down to the floor. Scoot your right foot over to the edge of your mat so both of your wrists are lined up underneath your shoulders. You can stay up here on your hands, or maybe you come down onto your elbows here. Taking your variation of lizard pose. You can keep that left leg lifted, or maybe you drop your knee down to the mat. If you keep your leg lifted, it's going to be more strengthening, and if you bring your knee down, it'll be more stretching. And wherever you are, make your way back up into your lunge. You can keep your foot off to the side here. Take a deep breath in and out. Start to turn your right toes towards the corner of your mat. Start to shift your weight into your right foot. You're going to take a big step up with your left foot to the outside of your left hand, coming into Malasana. Just dropping your hips down, bringing your chest up. You can bring your elbows on the insides of your thighs. You can use your arms here to help create resistance. So pressing your knees into your arms, arms into your knees, a little bit of strengthening there. Another big breath in and out. Now release your hands down to the floor, turn your toes forward, lift your hips up, coming into a forward fold. If you want to heel toe your feet closer together, go for it. If you want to keep the space, you can. For you to grab opposite elbows and hang out in your ragdoll for a few breaths. If you'd like, you can bend your knees, rest your belly on your thighs. Whatever adjustments help make this right for you. And eventually coming to stillness if you're wiggling around, releasing your elbows. Inhale, slowly roll your spine up. Then exhale, step your feet together, mountain pose. Take a deep breath in. And a full breath out. Inhale, sweep your arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. And exhale, fold. And step back to your downward facing dog. We're going to do all that fun stuff on the other side. So when you're ready, inhale, left leg lifts, three-legged dog. Remember those hips are even, shoulders are even, pressing through your heel. Doesn't matter how high this back leg lifts. Deep breath in. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, extend. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, extend. Exhale, hip opener. Bending your knees, stacking your hips. Again, checking in with your shoulders. Inhale here. And one more. Exhale. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, big step forward in between your hands with that left foot. Lifting up through the back of your right knee. Planting your right hand down. Inhale, left arm stretches up. Coming into your revolved lunge. And then getting ready ready for the horizon lunge with your exhale, roll onto the outside edge of your right foot. Reach your left hand back behind you. Remember, hips stay lifted, don't sink them down. Inhale back up. Exhale, horizon. One more time, inhale up. Exhale, horizon. Inhale up. Exhale, float your left hand down, scoot your left foot over, coming into your lizard pose. Wrists are under shoulders. Right leg is strong. Feeling some nice openness through your hips. Option to come down onto your elbows. Option to come down onto that right knee. So depending whether you want that strengthening or that stretching today, choose your own adventure. And wherever you are, make your way back up into that lunge. You can keep that left foot on the outside of your left hand. Turn your toes towards the corner of your mat. Getting ready for that big step forward with your right foot. Coming back up into your Malasana, your low yogi squat, half garland pose. Couple breaths here. Tune into your heart rate. Notice if it's a little fast, a little heavy. Maybe extending your exhales a little bit longer to help calm your breath down. Right, release your hands down to the floor, turn your toes forward, lift your hips up, heel toe your feet towards each other. Coming into your forward fold. See if you can straighten your legs a little bit more. Try not to lean back with your hips. So you're working towards bringing your hips above your ankles. Bend those knees as much as you need to though. With your next inhale, reverse swan dive to standing. Exhale, hands to your heart. Take a deep breath in. And a full breath out. From here, we're going to shift your weight into your right foot. Take a big step back with your left. We're going to get ready for warrior two. So turning your hips and shoulders sideways. Your right knee still faces the short edge of your mat. Open your arms out wide. Breath in. Exhale, side angle. So tilting forward, you can either bring your forearm to your thigh, or maybe you start to reach a little lower, bringing your hand down by your ankle or even down to the floor. Keep stretching that left arm up towards the ceiling. Big, wide arms here. And some options, maybe you swing that left hand behind your hip, reaching towards behind your back, reaching towards your right hip. Going into the half bind, maybe even a full bind, threading your right arm underneath your thigh, making connection or not. Maybe you're just holding onto your shirt here. Maybe you're wiggling your fingers towards each other, totally doesn't matter. From here, option to come into a balance. Turn your gaze down towards the floor. Hop your left foot up about half the distance between your feet. Ground through this left foot. I'm going to step back to the hard floor. So still in your bind. Start to come up onto your left foot. Maybe you just make your right toes light. Maybe you start to lift yourself upright, coming into standing. And if you come upright, maybe you start to extend your right leg, coming into any variation of birds of paradise. Take a couple breaths here. And when you're ready, bring your right foot back down to the floor. Step back with your left. Unbind. Inhale back up to your warrior two. Exhale, reverse triangle. So straighten out that right leg. Reach your right arm up. Left hand rests on your back leg. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, five-pointed star. So take a quick moment to grab a sip of water if you'd like. We're going to get ready to do all that stuff on the other side. So from here, turning towards the other short edge of your mat, bending your knee, opening your arms wide, warrior two. Here, prepare for your side angle. Deep breath in. Exhale, tilt forward. So either coming into your supported side angle or bringing your hand down by your ankle, all the way down to the floor, whatever serves you. And then playtime here. Maybe you start to come into that half bind, wrapping your right arm behind your back, reaching towards your left hip. Maybe tangling into that full bind, threading your left arm underneath your thigh, reaching for your right hand. Totally doesn't matter if you make connection. And if you'd like to play with that Birds of Paradise pose here, you're going to look down towards your left foot, hop your right foot forward about half the distance between your feet, come up lighter onto your left toes, and slowly start to stand upright. That was much easier to do while I wasn't talking. Then when you come upright, option to extend your left leg. You're ready to come down, bend into your right knee, plank that left foot down, step back with your right. Untangle your bind. Inhale back up, warrior two. Inhale to your star pose. Exhale, let's take, oh no, we forgot the triangle. Okay, come back to your warrior two. You're gonna straighten out that right leg. Exhale, reverse triangle. Inhale back to warrior two. Exhale, star pose. There we go. Now we're going to get ready for that full deep breath in. Exhale, bow forward. Now you have some options here. Whether you want to put props underneath your hands, totally fine. Maybe you walk your hands towards your feet, behind your feet, maybe bringing the crown of your head towards the floor. If your feet are further apart, you'll probably feel more stretch in between your thighs. If you bring your feet closer together, you'll probably feel more stretch in your hamstring and low back. walk your hands out underneath your shoulders. And with your next inhale, slowly lift your torso back up. Take multiple inhales if you'd like. Try not to get dizzy there. We're going to turn back towards the front of the mat and big step forward. Come to your mountain pose, close your eyes, tune back into your breath for just a few moments here. And check in with your intention. How nourishing has this practice been for you? Have you taken it easy on yourself? Have you allowed yourself challenge when it's appropriate? Are you listening to your body or are you listening to your ego? Inhale, put your eyes open, stretch your arms overhead. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, half lift. And exhale, fold. Inhale, you're going to step back with your left foot about 3 feet. Toes are turned to an angle. Your right leg is straight but not locked. Try to keep length in your spine so not to crunch into your leg here. Draw your right hip back, left hip forward. So coming into pyramid pose. From here, plant your left hand on the inside of your right foot. Inhale, stretch your right arm up towards the ceiling. Going into a revolved triangle here. And a deep breath in, and exhale, right hand down to the floor. Step your left foot forward, and we'll go right into the other side. Step your right foot back, toes turned, square up your hips, left hip back, right hip forward this time. Lengthen your spine. And allow yourself to hinge where your body wants to go to safely, going in a nourishing way. Being mindful of your alignment, your abilities, your limitations. And planting your right hand on the inside of your left foot. Inhale, left arm lifts. Revolve triangle in the other direction. Continue to breathe. Exhale, float the left hand down. And step back to your downward facing dog. Pedal out your feet for a moment. Shake out your hips. Whatever you need here, whatever organic movement is calling to you. Allow yourself to wiggle. And then finding your way to stillness. Shift your weight into your left foot. Inhale, right leg lifts on up. Three-legged dog. Exhale, you're going to bring your foot forward, knee behind your right wrist. Turn your toes. Pigeon pose. Slide that left leg back. We're going to come up right here. So the tendency is to just melt forward right away. Let's stretch out those hips a little bit more. So notice if you're starting to lean to one side, you might want to put something underneath your right hip if you're leaning towards the right. You can even just roll up your mat and tuck that under your hip if you don't have any props handy. So walking your hands back towards your hips, lengthen your spine, broaden your chest. Breathe. From here, we'll take an option to play with mermaid, bending through your left knee. Reach back with your left hand. Grab on to whatever you can, even if it's not really anything. And if you can't really spend much of your practice today, maybe just try lifting your left foot off the mat, even just a tiny bit. So try to keep your hips and shoulders squared forward, working on bringing your toes into your elbow crook. And if you'd like to go for the bind, or maybe even just a balance, you stretch your right arm forward, or the bind, you stretch your arm up and over and behind, and connecting your hands. Go ahead and release your bind. Release your left leg down. And if you're sitting on any props, scoot them out of your way. Shift your weight into your right hip. Swing your left leg around. You're going to step your foot on the outside of your right knee. And then tuck this right foot in towards your hip. Sit up nice and tall. If this doesn't feel right to you, you can always stretch this right leg out long instead of tucking it in. From here, inhale, sit up, stretch your left arm up. Exhale, twist to the left, reach your arm behind you, and then plant it on the floor or a prop. So shoulders are even here. Try not to lean into your back arm. Use it for support. Use it as a guide to just help remind your shoulders and your spine where you want them to be. Your next inhale, untwist, and exhale, relax. So from here, we're going to go back into downward facing dog. So shifting your weight over into your right hip, swinging your left foot back, tucking your toes, planting your palms, and stepping back, three-legged dog, and release. Going right into the other side here. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, pigeon. Walk your hands towards your hips. Same options here. Play around with it. Find what your body wants today. Find what options are and maybe are not working for you. Spend a few moments here to explore. Decide where do you want to play. Start to untangle. You've tangled yourself up. Moving any props out from under your left side. Just like shift your weight into your left side. Swing that right leg around. Plant your foot on the outside of your left thigh. Tuck that left heel in towards your right hip. Sit up nice and tall. Inhale, stretch your right arm up. And exhale, swoop it behind and down. Very nice. Inhale, untwist. We're just going to stretch the legs out here. Going to staff pose, sitting with your shoulders above your hips as if you're leaning back against the wall. Feet are flexed. Rest your hands beside you. See if you can roll your shoulders onto your back a little bit more. You might feel a little stretch through the collarbone area. Then inhale, sweep your arms overhead. Exhale, hinge forward. Inhale, lift back up. Exhale, hinge forward. One more time. Inhale, lift back up. Exhale, melt into your forward fold. With your next inhale, walk your hands towards your body, come upright. And let's take that bound ankle pose again. Bringing your feet together, knees wide. And just notice how this feels different or the same from the first time you came into it. So just like in your staff pose, shoulders above your hips. Close your eyes, rest your hands wherever it's comfortable. Notice if you feel any areas that maybe are a little more open, whether it's physically or energetically. Maybe you feel areas that are a little tighter, a little more closed off than before. Just observe. It doesn't matter what you find, where you find it. Just take note. Notice your body. Notice your physical body, your energetic body, your mental body, your spiritual body. Notice your body as an entire being. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, bow forward. Walk your arms out in front of you, stretch them out long. Inhale here, exhale, walk them over to the right. Pressing down through that left sit bone. Shoulders are even. Walk your fingers a little bit further away if that's for you today. Inhale back to center. Exhale over to the left. Same thing, other side. Inhale back to center. Exhale here. One more deep breath in. Cleansing breath out. Open your mouth. Inhale, come back upright. Bring your knees together. Windshield wiper knees. Sway them back and forth. And then come down onto your mat, onto your back. Draw your knees towards your chest. I'm going to rock them side to side, draw circles if that serves you. And coming back to center, stretch your feet up towards the ceiling. Flex your feet, just like in your staff pose. Enjoy this gentle inversion for a few breaths. And from here, bend your right knee into your chest, stretch your left leg out long. Bring your left hand to the outside of your right thigh, open your right arm out wide, deep breath in. Exhale, guide your knee across your body, twisting to the left. Tuck your left hip under your right. Both shoulders stay down on the floor. Maybe even turn your gaze over towards your right arm. Really nice. Inhale, roll back to center, swap legs, stretch the right leg long, left knee bends into your chest. Right hand to your outer thigh, left arm opens wide. Deep breath in. And as you breathe out, guide your knee across your body, twisting over to the right. Tuck your right hip under your left. Maybe even gazing over towards your left hand. Nice. Inhale, roll onto your back. Draw your knees towards your chest. Give yourself a hug. Maybe even bringing your nose up towards your knees. Maybe rock and roll and moving, finding something that feels right to you. And release. Stretch your legs out long. Bring your left hand to your heart, your right hand to your belly. Take a few more moments of conscious breathing before you totally let go. So inhale, your belly inflates, your ribs expand outward and your chest rises. Exhale, your chest lowers, your ribs draw back in, and your belly deflates. Inhale, belly, ribs, chest. Exhale, chest, ribs, belly. And let go of any control you have over your breath. Just breathe naturally here. Notice the natural rhythm of your inhales and of your exhales. The pauses in between. And with each breath, encourage your physical body to relax, to let go of any tension, any holding, any stiffness, any soreness, anything it may be clenching to. Starting from your toes, the crown of your head, take that full body scan. Using each inhale to bring energy to an area and each exhale to encourage release. And then do the same thing with your mental body. Use each exhale to encourage thoughts, feelings, anything that doesn't serve you to let go. Use your inhales to acknowledge and your exhales to release. Allow yourself to find a place of peacefulness, of bliss, of total presence and awareness and appreciation for you. side to side, stretching your arms and your legs. Give your body whatever gentle movements it needs to help reawaken right now. And then as you're ready, hug your knees towards your chest, roll around to your right side. Find your way into the fetal position. Take a moment here, slowly transition back into your day. When you're ready, press on up to a seated position. Whatever seat is calling to you today in this moment. Try to keep your eyes closed. Sitting with a tall spine, use an inhale, stretch your arms overhead. And exhale, brings your palms together and down to your heart. With your next inhale, lift the corners of your mouth and smile. Thank yourselves for stepping on your mat today and spending a little extra time.